Hi, my name is Andrew Karofsky, and I'm from Forestburg 4-H, and I've been in the
Okay, it's ready.
Okay, I've got 8:30. We'll have a called meeting of Commissioners Court, Montague County, for a public hearing on the proposal to increase the tax rate and take necessary action.
I got some pause. It's birthday, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I don't like this part.
Nice and shiny.
Oh, they've muted themselves. Oh, that's what, because it just killed me on this part too.
So before we close the public hearing on the tax rate proposal, are there any public comments? All right, I've got 8:45. Have a motion to
Motion to, I guess, adjourn or close, whatever you need here for the public comment.
second. Got a motion by I've got a motion by Commissioner Langford and a second by Commissioner Mayfield to close this meeting. All in favor? All voting for. So at 8:45, we'll have a called meeting, Commissioners Court, Montague County, for a public hearing for fiscal year 2020, 2021 proposed budget and take necessary action. And Jessica, if you see anybody pop up for comment, just let me know.
Okay.
So we're nearing the conclusion of our public hearing on the 2020-2021 proposed budget. Any public comments?
Motion to adjourn the public hearing.
A motion by Commissioner Langford, second by Commissioner Mayfield. In discussion, all in favor? All voted for. All right. All right, so we will call the regular session of the Montague County Commissioners Court to session. If we'll stand, ask Commissioner Langford to do the invocation, and then please stand standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day that you've blessed us with. We thank you, dear Lord, for the cooler weather that we've had, and thank you, dear Lord, for everyone here today. Ask, dear Lord, to be with Commissioner Murphy and get him over his sickness. I understand he's in the hospital. Be with him, dear Lord, and his family. Dear Lord, be with this court as we conduct our business. Ask that you help us to keep it in peace and harmony. Pray, dear Lord, you'll just forgive us for many sins and shortcomings, and pray this in Jesus' sweet name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right, do we have any public comments? We'll move to item 4, which is our consent agenda. The consent agenda includes non-controversial and routine items that the court may act on with a single vote. The judge or the commissioners may pull any item from the consent agenda in order that the court discuss and act upon it individually as part of the regular agenda. And today our consent agenda covers the approval of minutes, examine all accounts and reports relating to the finances of the county, audit and settle all accounts against the county and direct their payment, approval of payroll, and accept the county treasurer's monthly report.
I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second. Have a motion by Commissioner Langford, a second by Commissioner Darden. Is there any discussion? All in favor? All voted for. Number 5 is our budget workshop. Any items on our budget workshop? All right, we'll move to item 6, which is to adopt the budget for fiscal year 2020, 2021, and take the necessary action.
I guess all you need is a motion to adopt our budget, isn't it, Judge?
Yes, sir.
I'll put that in form of a motion to adopt the budget for fiscal year 2020 to 2021.
So I have a motion by Commissioner Langford. I have a second by Commissioner Darden. Is there any discussion? All in favor? All voted for. Item number 7.
Excuse me, Judge, that needs to be a record vote.
I'm sorry, you're correct. Change sheets. So we'll do a record vote. Commissioner Darden, how do you vote? For. Commissioner Mayfield, how do you vote? For. Commissioner Langford, how do you vote?
For.
And I also vote for. All right, now we go to item 7. Adopt the tax rate for fiscal year 2020. Take necessary action.
I think on this, Judge, I've got, this is how I need to read it right here, what we've got on our documents, I believe. I move that we adopt the no new revenue tax rate of 0.5641 per $100 of evaluation, which is effectively 0% increase in the tax rate.
All right, and so with these documents, this is no new revenue tax rate will raise the same amount of revenue from property taxes as last year. The property tax revenue is to be raised from new property added to the tax roll. This year is $143,698. Montague County adopted a no new revenue tax rate that will raise the same amount of revenue from property taxes as last year for maintenance and operations. And so this also will require a record vote once we have a motion and a second.
Second.
So I have a motion by Commissioner Langford. I have a second by Commissioner Darden. Any discussion? All right, Commissioner Darden, how do you vote?
For.
Commissioner Mayfield? For. Commissioner Langford?
For.
And I also vote for. The debt rate, which is 0.168. Commissioner Darden, how do you vote?
For.
Commissioner Mayfield? For. Commissioner Langford?
For.
And I also vote for. That has our M&O rate at 0.5473. Also needed a record vote. Commissioner Darden, how do you vote?
For.
Commissioner Mayfield? For. Commissioner Langford?
For.
And I also vote for. And then the last thing I have on this, which I think we've covered, but it's on my chart. The actual tax rate is 0.5641. Also needed a record vote. Commissioner Darden, how do you vote?
For.
Commissioner Mayfield?
For.
Commissioner Langford?
For.
And I also vote for. And so that will adopt our tax rate. Number 8, the interpretation of the Commissioners Court of Montague County 4-H program. Hey, 1 second, I'm sorry.
You can say something, but I'm just gonna switch it over to your video to get it ready.
Sorry, it's just us. We usually have our
kiddos in
here.
Take this chance to let them kind of express, Melanie lines the kiddos up to do a commissioner court thank you. Usually they're in here live to do it, but some of them agreed to do the video. And of course, we got Jessica to help pull it up. And so we'll kind of go through it. You can kind of see some of our numbers that we handed out here for you that we accomplished this last year. Had 170 youth in 4-H. That increased, I think, by about 15 kiddos. We have 8 charter clubs and 24 adult volunteers that help run those clubs as well. And of course, you can see some of the projects they're in and some of the community service projects. So we're real proud of our kiddos and everything. We want them to kind of express their gratitude as well.
You ready?
Thank you, Jessica.
Mhm.
Hi, my name is Andrew Crockett. I'm from Forestburg 4-H, and I've been in the 4-H for 9 years now. And one of the many things I like about 4-H is being part of the community and giving back to the community.
My name is Andrew Crockett, and I live in Forestburg 4-H. My favorite thing about 4-H is meeting people, taking care of animals, and competing in competitions. Hi, my name is Will Crosby from Forestburg, Texas. My favorite part of 4-H is working with livestock.
Hello, my name is Olivia. I'm in Forestburg 4-H. Yeah, last year I was active in my club. And I was packing soldier boxes. And I was making scarves for the nursing homes. Thank you, Commissioner Court, for his support.
Hello, my name is Jocelyn, and I participated in Forestburg 4-H this year. This
This past year, I was active in our club. I helped make scarves for nursing homes, and I helped pack soldier boxes. I also gathered food for food drives and toys for Toys for Tots. I placed second place in 4-H STEM competition, and I took a drawing in the county show. Thank you, Commissioner Court, for your support.
Hi, I'm Taylor, and I participate in Forsberg 4-H. This year, I was active in my club and participated in many community service projects. I also participate in gathering food for food drives and toys for Tots programs. I also made scarves for the nursing home residents as well as packing soldier boxes. I took a photo to the Montague County show as well. Thank you, Commissioners Court, for your support.
My name is Caleb. I participate in Forsberg 4-H by being active in our club and many community service events. I participated in being involved in making scarves, packing soldier boxes, gathering food for food drives, and toys for Tots. I also enlisted cookies in the county show. Thank you, Commissioners Court, for your support.
Viv Bauer, participated in Forsberg 4-H, Montague County 4-H, and Montague County STEM Club. This past year, I was a club officer in all 3 clubs. I have done numerous community service activities for our county. I participate in natural resources, horse, beef, STEM, agriculture, county fair, poultry, record books, veterinary science, and photography. Thank you for your support.
Howdy, my name is Nolan Bauer. I participate in Forsberg 4-H, Montague County 4-H, Montague County STEM Club, and Montague County Horse Club. This past year, I was president for 2 of those clubs and parliamentarian for 1, and a mentor for our STEM club. I've done numerous community service activities in my county and was a co-leader for Toys for Tots. I participated in the horse club, horse judging, horse quiz bowl, cutting judging, ag ID, livestock skill-a-thon, community service, veterinary science, poultry, county show, photography judging and photography, ag sciences, public speaking, and share the fun. My favorite competition this year was cutting judging, where I received 6th place at the state competition. Thank you, Commissioners Court, for your time.
Hi, my name is Isabella Rohde. I participate in the Montague County 4-H STEM Robotics Club in Forsberg. This past year, I was the club's vice president. In January, I participated in the county show with an ornament and got 5th place. Then, as a member of the Junior STEM Club, I helped our team win Reserve Champion in the inaugural Fort Worth Stock Show Ag Robotics Challenge. It was awesome. Thank you, Commissioners Court members, for allowing our team to use the annex to hold meetings so we could succeed. I appreciate your support.
Hi, my name is Kendall Wolf. I'm 16 and I attend Haley High School. I participate in Forsberg 4-H and I hold the officer position of First Vice President and Council Delegate, Montague County 4-H as Secretary, and Montague County Horse 4-H as Secretary. I have been involved in many local community service projects with my 4-H club as well as Montague County Cowboy Church. Other projects I have participated in are public speaking, vet science, consumer education, health and personal safety, and theater arts. Some of my achievements are the first and most miles to walk across Texas, I Dare You award, and my record book won first in district for the health and personal safety. Thank you so much to the Commissioners Court for your time and your support.
Hi there. I'm Spencer Jarose. This is Bailey Nobley, and this is Payne Jarose.
We're members of St. Joe 4-H.
I show rabbits, goats, and horses. I won the junior division in the Ag Identification Contest and the Skill-a-thon. I made a sale with my goat at the livestock at the Montague County Youth Fair, and I was 12th at the Fort Worth Stock Show. At the Fort Worth Show, I won the junior division in the Healing and a new class ranch roping. I placed 5th with my friend in the ranch sorting. I show rabbits, goats, and horses too. I also enjoy sewing and baking. I made the sale with my goat at the Montague County Fair and placed fourth with him at Fort Worth. I participated in the Ag ID contest and livestock skill contest.
I show goats and horses. I made the sale with my goat at the county show and was ninth in my class at San Angelo. I showed my horse at the State 4-H horse show and won the senior healing. I was fortunate to win a scholarship through the Texas Horse Association with the highest placing roper at the State 4-H horse show. I was third high individual in the Ag ID contest and was on the second place team. We hope this next year to be more active and participate in contests like livestock judging, horse judging, and archery. We thank you for your continued support of the 4-H.
Hi, I'm Sid Hamilton. Last year I was a Clover kid. This year I am happy to be a full-time 4-H'er.
I am Bryce Hamilton from Montague 4-H. My projects include swine, shark projects, and baking. My accomplishments from this past year: 5th place peach jelly, 3 first place pigs, and 2 reserve champion at the county show. Thank you for your support. I am Cooper Hanchard, Nakona 4-H and treasurer of the County 4-H Council. My projects include fishing, swine, poultry, and leadership. Some of my accomplishments for this past year: Grand Champion Rooster at County Show, 2nd place team during Youth Bass Tournament at Lake Texoma and won Big Bass 2. 4th place team during Youth Bass Tournament at Louisville Lake, Reserve Champion Cross Skill at County Show, District winner Record Book in Natural Resources, and 8th place book at State, and 3 first place Swan at County Show. Thank you, Commissioners Court, for your support.
Again, probably not as personal, but at least we got some personality out of the kids.
And some of them we wouldn't have been able to get here in person anyway, so.
Yeah, wasn't nothing wrong with that there.
No. Really appreciate what you do with these kids.
Absolutely. There's nothing, I mean, what's more important than our kiddos?
That's right.
I know you guys, I mean, my kids were in 4-H. I grew up in 4-H. I know that the amount of work that you guys do, especially during showtime, is just immense. Anyway,
And right now, we're going just like y'all, going through some different times, trying to figure out how to make everything mesh. So we're hoping to have just as much success this year, but we'll see how this year goes too as well. So we appreciate everything that y'all do, of course, for us, and keep supporting us, and especially the kiddos. Any questions y'all may have, or?
Again, thank you, Justin and Melanie, for everything you do.
Okay. Yeah, I know where we're at. Y'all got questions, got phone numbers. All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great day.
All right. The next item is number 9, discuss and consider Veteran Service Officer Colin Murphy to address duties of current assistant.
Judge, Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen. Just wanted to say with the Veterans Office, I was hired 7 years ago to make the Veterans Office. I was told by the court, I was commissioned to make this the best Veteran Service Officer in the state of Texas. And that's our goal and what we're trying to achieve. We do a lot of stuff through the VA and with the VA, but that's not what we do. Totally, we have other stuff. Veterans can come to us with anything, stuff you probably don't know that we do, and I don't brief it, but we're involved with PTSD for the feral hogs helicopter shoot. And just last month, we had a veteran's driveway replaced in Bowie because his wheelchair was getting caught on his driveway. So there's other stuff we do, but most of the stuff is VA, and that's kind of what I brief the people. Now the VA is going paperless, and they've added extra restrictions for privacy information. So it is harder and harder for me to access information. And I came to you guys last year and I said, I requested that we get Angela up to speed and get her certified so she could have access, she could help me. Without that help, I said the efficiency of our office would go down. You agreed, and at that point, but you could not compensate for that because it was, the budget had just been done. You said, hey, no promises were made. You said, we agreed to appoint her for the extra responsibilities, but we'll address the compensation at the appropriate time. She did 48 hours of training, initial training. She had to do a background check, security clearance. She's CBT. She had to go down and do an orientation. So there was a lot involved getting her up to speed. We finally did get her up to speed in January. And since then, she's been fantastic. And I probably almost doubled her workload since, now that she can help me. And unfortunately for COVID, I can't show you that. Usually I like to bring statistics to back up my statements. But with the appointment as a veteran service officer, she has requirements, training requirements, and testing requirements, certification requirements. She's required to be tested by the state. She has to pass. There's a minimum amount of stuff. And it's the same thing that I have to go through. But in light of the compensation, since she's getting compensated as a receptionist, I don't feel it's appropriate to have her continue with the additional duties that I have placed upon her. And seeing as being a veteran service officer, being accredited, forces her to go to testing. If I don't require the training, then she shouldn't be required the testing. So I would request at this point to rescind her appointment as veteran service officer. It places too much burden upon her and she can't meet the minimum requirements. This is going to reduce the efficiency of the veteran service office, but I think it's only appropriate that we do this.
Well, Murph, I'm not going to deny, I agree with what you've done. You've done a wonderful job there. Of course, you've known how I've stood ever since you talked to me in the hallway of the courthouse over there. I don't understand why you're wanting to rescind her duties right there, because we explained 100% in here what we have to do. I've got men that don't make as much money as the other ones. I expect them to work from fence to fence. Same thing. But you also understand the kind of trouble that's been going on in this country with people losing their jobs, and a lot of people have lost their jobs, don't know which way to turn. She's got a job, you've got a job, we've got a job in here. I'm still not going to change my mind on this year. I think that's a mistake by you asking for that right there, but that's your business. You know, if you want to do that, that's fine. But, you know, I don't know what would happen next year. I may not even be here next year, maybe 6 foot underground. I just know what the county and everybody's been going through this year. I think we're all very fortunate to have the job we've got. And that's still the way I feel about it. I wish I could. You know, I wouldn't do something for her that I wouldn't do for the rest of the 5 or 6, whatever it is. But I'm not backing up on this deal at all. Not right now.
Right.
Not denying the job you've done. Great job. She has too. Not denying that a bit.
And I also feel she was paid to go take that test. It didn't cost her nothing personal. I mean, she was paid through all that. It wasn't like she went out on her own and spent money out of her pocket to go to school or anything. Montague County, we invested in her. And whenever the time comes that we can give more money for the job she's doing, we're more than willing to. But you sent her to school on the Montague County's money, knowing that we didn't guarantee her more money. That was just, if it was there, we would. But, you know, you can't expect us to. I mean, how could we look at the voters out there and say, we just give somebody $18,000 raise with everything that went on? I mean, I can't believe that you'd sit here and put that on us. That's just not right. That's my opinion.
Okay, I did not come here to ask for a raise. I did that before. You already turned down the raise. Or
But-
it's not my impression, it is a raise. To me, it's an increase in duty and compensation. What I'm saying, since we're not going to increase the compensation, it is unfair to require her to meet the criteria of a job she's not getting compensated for.
Well, it was unfair for you to come to ask us to support that, and now you're saying you're gonna tell her she don't have to do it, but we've already paid for her to go to school.
Well, first of all,
That's not fair either.
you never increased my budget, so the money that came out of that was actually this stuff I
That
turned down
Montague
training.
County paid for, not you, Montague County,
You never increased the budget for her to go.
that the taxpayers paid for.
You never increased the budget,
The
so no
taxpayers
one,
paid for that.
the
not you.
taxpayers paid for me to go to training, and
Yeah.
I turned down my training to give it to her. So you're talking apples and oranges. What I'm saying is it's unfair to have a requirement for her to continue meeting, testing. The level that she's required to meet right now is not what she's getting compensated for. She's getting compensated for receptionist. My thing is that if we're going to maintain compensating her as a receptionist, we should maintain her duty requirement as a receptionist. The state is going to come after her and force her to go to additional training and testing for a job that she's not getting compensated for.
She's getting paid for it.
She's getting paid for receptionist.
She's getting paid.
She's
to go to
going for,
school.
she currently is a well-paid receptionist.
Yeah.
If she stays as a assistant veterans officer, she'd be the lowest paid assistant veteran service officer in the state of Texas.
And so if she doesn't take the additional training, we're just talking scenario, if she doesn't do any additional schooling this year and there were money next year, I don't know if there will be, but if there were, does that mean that she would have to start all over again?
Yes, sir. Now, I came and I made my case and you decided on the budget, and I'm just saying, every decision has consequences. And I can't have her perform duties that she's not compensated for. That's not right. You guys understand that, I assume. You can't just throw stuff at her. These are not my restrictions. These are VA requirements. They will not talk to her unless she's certified. She cannot help me with a VA unless she's certified. But there's a minimum requirement she has to do to maintain certification. And we're not compensating her as a veteran service officer, we're compensating her as a receptionist. If we're going to maintain receptionist pay, we should maintain receptionist duties.
We've already set the budget. I'm not changing it. Even if I could, I wouldn't change it.
That's why I'm saying it after the budget. This is not about the budget. This is about rescinding her assistant veteran service officer.
No, I don't vote to do that. We paid for her to go to school to do that. I think that.
You did not pay for her to go to school. You paid for me to go to school, and I gave that money to her.
Okay, so taxpayers paid for her to go to school.
No, taxpayers paid for me to go to school.
Well, you didn't go, but she did. So
Right.
taxpayers paid for her to go to school. That's pretty simple. Taxpayers paid that money.
She paid a lot
So
of that
if you
out of her own
decline her
pocket.
them duties, then you just threw that money away. If you say she ain't gonna do them duties because you don't think that's her place, then you just threw the tax dollars away that we send her to school to do. And that's not right. You offered that on the deal that we didn't say we was guaranteeing her a raise or not. If we could, we would, but we can't. You know. So
You got a funny way of looking at it.
no, it's not funny. It's black and white.
You
Taxpayers-
said at the time, this thing said, you will address it at the appropriate time. You did address it at the appropriate time. You said, no, she won't get the additional compensation. I am just removing the additional duties that go along with the additional compensation that she's not getting.
All right, so that's your request is to have the court take some action on that.
Yes, sir.
And obviously you can take whatever action you deem necessary within your office. As far as his request for in here today, do we have a motion?
My motion is that we do not reduce the
Well,
duties.
I'd like to know this, why are we asked to make, I mean, it's his office to run, so why are we asked to make any kind of assessment? If you don't want her to do it, don't do it.
I think in pulling the minutes from back when this occurred, in 2019. It says the court approved the appointment of Angela Usselton as Montague County Assistant Veteran Service Officers for training purposes. So I honestly don't know that the court has an action to take. I know what you're asking. Is there any motion on that?
If she was appointed, she has to be unappointed.
Did that say we appointed her? Or who appointed her?
She's appointed for training purposes.
Commissioners Court approved the appointment of Angela Usselton as Montague County Assistant Veteran Officer for training purposes. So if there's no motion to change that.
Well, I'm not interested in changing it either. If you don't want her to do the duties.
I would love her to do it.
Well, you're the one that's going to make that decision, because I'm not going to vote to take it away from her. Because if we do and able to change this up on next year's budget, then we'll go through the same thing all over again to appoint her to it. And then you'd have to catch up on the training. I'm not going to change anything.
You do understand that you're making a requirement by keeping her a veteran service officer, you're giving her a requirement that you're not compensating her for. Just so you understand. There's a certification level she has to meet that we are not compensating her.
Murph, this has nothing to do with compensation.
Oh, it's got everything to do.
No, she's not. She's getting paid a certain amount of money to do the job that you put her in. We can't give her a raise. It doesn't have nothing to do with compensation. It's a raise is all it is. And we can't do that this year. You know, just because you change positions, that doesn't mean you get compensated for that position right there. It's a raise. I don't look at it the same way you do either.
The state demanded for her to get certified, so she didn't have, we didn't.
Right.
I mean, we don't have no control over that. If you don't want her to do that job, that's on you.
I think you're all missing the point here. She got certified, so she has a requirement. She didn't get compensated for that. So I'd like to decertify her so she doesn't have that requirement. That's all I'm asking for. It's not a money thing. I asked for the money a few weeks ago. We said no. I'm just saying, hey, could you please decertify her so she doesn't have this annual requirement that she's got to maintain and not get compensated for.
And you made the request.
Right.
And I don't think we have a motion.
Okay, sir.
All right.
But that court order that's in place right there, when was that, Judge? Does it have a date on it?
I think
It was November.
November the 19th. So that's been over 6 months ago, Murph, and that you asked her to be bumped up to that position and she didn't get compensated for it then. You're 6 to 8 months later.
Right,
You know,
because you said at the point, we had just done the budget battle, and you said this is not the time. I understood that. She understood that. It was not the appropriate time to talk about compensation.
well, I'm still, if you don't want her to do it, that's fine. You know, if you think she's at reception pay and that's all you want her to do, that's fine with me. I don't see no need in changing anything.
All right, so request is made. It will die for lack of motion. All right.
Thank you.
So we'll go to item number 10, which is discuss and consider approving the 2020 Help America Vote Act and election security sub-grant to Texas counties and take necessary action. Ginger, you got anything to say on this?
This is just a grant that Charlie is working on for the election department. And it's $40,000 with no match. And we just need approval from the court to go ahead with this grant.
And I think this is what we discussed in the budget workshop last court session, is it not? The purchase of new voting machines.
Yes, this will help. If we get the grant, it will allow us to buy 10 new express vote machines for the elections department.
Right. And so the figure that's in front of me, and correct me if I'm wrong, it shows, I know the grant is up to 40,000, and it looks like the amount that we're seeking is $36,799.50. Is that correct? I think this is what we talked about when we added that line item for the additional $1,800 for the data entry or whatever it was. So do I have a motion?
I'll
move forward on
make
the
that
screen.
motion to accept the 2020 American Vote Act grant.
Is that the number that needs to be attached to it, just the 30%?
It's an up to $40,000 grant, but it appears the numbers they've submitted is yes, the amount we need we're going to seek in the grant is $36,799.50.
I'll second that motion.
All right, so I have a motion by Commissioner Mayfield and a second by Commissioner Langford. Is there any discussion? All in favor? All voted for.
Is that just like an application for the grant?
Yes, ma'am. All right, number 11. Discuss and consider approving order of general election and notice of election and take necessary action.
We have the order of election and the notice of election. We just need to approve for the judge to sign those for the November 3rd, 2020 election.
I'll make the motion to approve the order for the general election, whatever dates you had right there.
And for my signature.
Yes, and give the judge authority to sign all papers.
So I have a motion by Commissioner Langford. I have a second by Commissioner Darden. Any discussion? All in favor? All voted for. Item 12 is discuss and consider joint election agreements with the city of Bowie, Bowie Independent School District, Montague Independent School District, and the city of Nakona, and take necessary action.
These are 4 agreements that we are going into with the 4 entities mentioned, and we just need to allow the judge to sign those.
I'll put that in the form of a motion to approve the agreements with Bowie, Bowie ISD, Montague ISD, and City of Nakona. Give the judge the authority to sign it.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Langford, a second by Commissioner Mayfield. Any discussion? All in favor? All voted for. Discuss and consider approving addendum to the data processing service agreement between Justice Solutions and the Montague County Sheriff's Office and take necessary action. And this is what we also discussed in the last budget workshop, adding the 6 user licenses to the Sheriff's Office to get them through this year. And what they've done, this Justice Solutions stated that since we were long-term customers, they were going to give us the 6 additional licenses at the cost of 4. And I believe what they've told the auditor is that as soon as we can get this done, they'll go ahead and implement it. We don't have to wait till October 1st. And the amount we're talking about is the same thing we discussed and voted on.
It's been approved in the budget.
Correct. So this is just the approval of this addendum with Justice Solutions.
Does it need your signature or?
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to approve the addendum with the judge's signature.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Langford, a second by Commissioner Darden. Any additional discussion? All in favor? All voted for. Item 14, discuss and consider approving the 2020-2021 County Clerk Records Management and Archive Yearly Plan and take the necessary action.
This is just a yearly plan that they recommend that I pass through court, just for record every year.
I'll make a motion, we approve that, Judge.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Mayfield. I've got a second by Commissioner Darden. Any additional discussion? All in favor? All voted for. Item 15 is discuss and consider the energy capital reimbursement distribution and take necessary action.
Judge, I put this on here. I've been trying to work a problem out that created, and you're aware of it. I've kept you informed on it. Back a few months ago, this energy capital money, we hadn't been getting much, just to kind of catch everybody up until recently when we give 25,000 and the Child Welfare Board 60,000 and Nocona in St. Joe 25,000. Well, that 25,000 went to Nocona's EDC. And at the time, and it was, part of this is my fault. I should have never let that go through court, that a specific amount wasn't designated to St. Joe. Well, we finally got the problem worked out, and in the vision of it, I told St. Joe that they were going to get half of that 25,000. Well, in the division of it, in the formula that was done by EDC and Nocona, they ended up just getting 7,500 of it. And they come back to me pretty unhappy with that on account of they weren't included, their EDC wasn't included, and they have a full EDC board president. Ben Beto is the president's name. And I told him, I said, when we get this worked out, St. Joe Nocona sends you all a check for the 7,500. I think if you come back to court and ask for 5,000 from this same fund, that will put them at the 25 or half of the 25. What everything was agreed on, what I thought was going to happen. I was under the impression that St. Joe was getting half of that 25,000. Like I say again, I shouldn't have never let it get through court here without specifically naming that much. Should have went ahead and sent it to St. Joe then. But they have made application back to the county, and we got that for 5,000 more. And I'd like to approve that. And they're going to disperse it. One big thing, they didn't want to make application to Nocona. I understand that. Nocona wouldn't want to make application to St. Joe. So, but by doing this, it at least holds up my end of the bargain and the counties for my understanding that they were supposed to get half of that 25,000.
That's coming out of the same. It's
coming out of the same account there, and after visiting with Jennifer, I think there's a checking and a savings of that, aren't they? This capital reimbursement deal. I'd like to make the motion to approve 5,000 to St. Joe EDC from that account right there.
Second. All right, so we've got a motion by Commissioner Langford and a second by Commissioner Mayfield. Any further discussion? All in favor? All voted for. Item 16, discuss and consider approving a resolution regarding a finance agreement for the purpose of procuring a motor grader and related equipment for precinct 4 and take necessary action.
I also put this on there, Judge. I need to make a move for one more machine. It's the same agreement and the payment through capital. I can't even think of the finance company. Anyway, they sent the resolution and everything. By approving it approves the financing for capital credit, I believe it was, and I'm going to purchase a motor grader through Caterpillar. Got 5 or 6 payments here, 6, I believe. I'm going to put 100,000 down. I'd like the court's permission to approve this resolution and buy this motor grader. Put that in form of motion.
That's from government capital.
Yes, from government capital.
Second. All right, so I've got a motion by Commissioner Langford. I've got a second by Commissioner Mayfield. Any discussion? All in favor? All voted for. Item 17, discuss and consider precinct 1 line item budget adjustment of $38,000 from gravel to part-time and take necessary action.
I put that on there. I think 38,000 should be close to winding me up this budget year. And, I need to move that over. So I need to put a form motion to move 38,000 my gravel to my part-times.
Second.
So I've got a motion by Commissioner Darden and a second by Commissioner Langford. Any discussion? All in favor? All voted for. Item 18, discuss and consider precinct 1 renting an excavator from Yellow House Machinery in Wichita Falls, Texas, and take the necessary action.
I've looked around on different prices of renting an excavator with a 19-foot digging depth, but what I need it for is to clean out that box bridge over on New Hart Loop, and then I've got another bad washout that we can't reach with a backhoe. I was gonna do that, try to do all this and schedule it to do it in a 1-week period. Cost of that machine to rent's $1,800, and plus I've got another $600 worth of shipping charges to be on it. And then I'll probably put the insurance through Yellow House also. Yellow House is the cheapest place I could rent that excavator. So they're gonna deliver it to Bowie, and we'll pick it up there at Bowie and carry it on out where we need it.
Do they have a little contract that you had to get approved to, Roy?
That's what I was gonna find out here. I need to get all I've got is sign a contract, I guess, or whatever. Do we need to have, do I need to get a copy of it, have it looked over first?
I'd say so if it was any type of contract that you're gonna have to sign, obligate the county. It's kind of a formality, but.
Yeah, I'll get a copy of that, and we table that, so. I'll get that, and I'll get Clay to look at it. All right.
So item 18, we will table and take up at a later court date. Item 19, discuss and consider permission for precinct 1 to enter Mike Berkeley property to clean out debris from bridge waterway and take necessary action.
Yeah, I need permission to get on Mike to clean out that box bridge, to get on his place, get down underneath it there, clean all that up, pull it out. I need.
Second.
So a motion by Commissioner Darden, a second by Commissioner Langford. Any discussion? All in favor? All voted for. Item 20, discuss and consider precinct 1 purchasing 2 acres located on Highway 455 in Forestburg, Texas, for a maintenance and storage yard. Take necessary action.
About 300 yards past our location of our barn now, there's 2 acres there that's available that I can buy from Al Garza, and he's agreed to sell me 2 acres off a 5-acre tract there. The cost is gonna be $36,000 plus about $1,631 worth of closing costs. And I'll know nothing about that to have a place to store rock and get a lot of stuff out of my yard. I don't have room for overs and whatnot. So I'd like to make a motion. We purchase that. I don't have any idea if we have to sign a account agreement or anything.
It'll go through if you use the abstract office across the street. That's the way I did when I purchased that acre by mine, and I think the judge has to sign that when she gets it done. But
okay, well, it's all, it's set to close on September 16th. I'm closed.
Yeah,
it's a contract, right?
Yeah, it's just basic purchase agreement. And, y'all agreed to whatever you've agreed to.
I think they check for back taxes or anything like it. Be title insurance on it too.
Yeah,
I'll second
title
that.
insurance. That's all. That covers everything. Title insurance, survey, closing costs.
I'll second that motion to purchase that, Judge.
All right, so I've got a motion by Commissioner Darden and a second by Commissioner Langford. Any discussion? All in favor? All voted for. Item 21, discuss and consider precinct 2 accepting donations for chip sealing Tage Road and take necessary action.
Yeah, just some citizens out there got some money together, and then I just need to accept that donation to chip seal. I think it's $23,000 that they raised to help chip seal that road. Make it a form of motion.
Second.
So I've got a motion by Commissioner Mayfield and a second by Commissioner Langford. Is there any discussion?
Is this work gonna be done this budget year?
Yes,
Will it be done before October 1?
that's the plan. Yes.
We've done done several cost shares through the years like this for paved roads.
Do you want the amount of money donated in order?
You get 23,000.
All right, any additional discussion? All in favor? All voted for. I guess we just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Commissioner Langford, and second by Commissioner Darden. All in favor? All voted for.